So good morning students. In the previous video we had seen about your band pass filters. So under band pass we had seen two filters. One is your wide band pass and the other one was your narrow band pass filters. Now in this video we will see about your all pass filters. So all pass filter is nothing but it is going to pass all the frequency ranges of your input signal there. So here in this case it is going to pass all the frequencies of input signal without any attenuation. So the only difference what we can see is the output is going to be phase shifted with respect to the input signal there. So here we can see that they are going to have phase shifts of the different frequencies of your output signal there. So where we are going to use this all pass filters is when the signals are going to be transmitted over the transmission lines, such as your telephone wires. When it is going to be transmitted over your telephone line, there is a transmission line such as telephone wires, there are chances of phase change to occur there. So to compensate for these phase changes, we are going to use an all pass filters there. So the other name for your all pass filters are going to be your delay equalizers or phase correctors. So here we are going to design an all pass filter where your RF is equivalent to R in. So now we have to find out what is going to be the output voltage of the filter. So the output voltage of the filter can be obtained by using your superposition theorem. So here this is the construction of your all pass filter. So here we are going to use the same signal as input for both your inverting as well as to the non-inverting input terminal there. So to the inverting mode we are going to connect a feedback resistance RF and your input resistance R1, and to this I am going to connect my input signal Vin. And to the non-inverting mode I am going to connect a capacitance. So capacitance, it is going to be a here capacitance, and here you are going to have a resistance. The other end of the resistance I am going to give the input signal there. So now I have to find out what is going to be my output voltage. To find out this output voltage, what we are going to do is we are going to apply the superposition theorem. We know that when when more than one voltage is going to be used in a circuit, I want to find out the output voltage, means I have to apply the superposition theorem. So superposition theorem is taking one voltage source at a time and seeing what is the output of that voltage source due to that first source input signal, and next is considering the second input signal and seeing what is going to be the output voltage of the second signal there. So how we are going to see is, first I will assume that the voltage at this point. So here in this case the consideration what we are going to take is the voltage at this point is your V in 1. Okay, the voltage at this point is going to be taken as V in 2. So first consideration is your V in 1. To find out, we are going to take V in 1 and V in 2, but actually V in 1, V in 2 are nothing but your V in. This is the first assumption. V in is nothing but V in 1 and V in 2. All are all same voltages. Now I will consider V in 1. So by considering a V in 1, that means that this is going to be at V in 2 is going to be at ground potential. So here this V in 2 is going to be at ground potential. When this is going to be at ground potential, this part of the circuit is going to be 0. That means it is 0. So here this part of the circuit is going to act as an inverting amplifier. So when it is going to act as an inverting amplifier, I can write my V01 output is equivalent to minus, your inverting amplifier gain is minus RF by R1 into V in 1. Okay, so my V01 is equal to minus RF by R1 into V in 1. So now considering your V in 2. So if I consider your V in 2, so this is going to be present, but this is going to be at ground terminal. That means this is like your non-inverting terminal. So non-inverting terminal means your V02 is equal to the voltage at this point. I will take it as V1. So here the non-inverting gain, so it is nothing but 1 plus RF by R1 into V1, the voltage at this point. So what is V1 voltage? V1 voltage is nothing but the voltage, total voltage at this point is V into drop across this is going to be your minus JXC divided by R minus J into XC. So if I simplify it, this XC, if I am going to bring it here, so here it is going to be V in by J into 2 pi Fc divided by R into J into 2 pi Fc plus 1 divided by the whole thing divided by J into 2 pi Fc. This J 2 pi Fc and this J 2 pi Fc gets cancelled. So my Vin is equal to this one. So I can write my expression as 1 plus Rf by R1 into your Vin divided by 1 plus J into 2 pi F into C. So my F into C is there. So what is my total output voltage? Total output voltage is V0 is equivalent to V0 plus V0 2. This is one output, this is one output. So that is nothing but minus Rf by R1 into Vin for the first case, plus for the second case it is going to be 1 plus Rf by R1 into Vin divided by 1 plus J into 2 pi F into C. So now we know that Rf is equal to R1 for a low pass filter, for an all pass filter. So when Rf is equal to R1, this becomes 1. So that means it is going to be minus V in plus. So Rf by R1 is going to be 1, means 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So 2 into V in divided by 1 plus J into 2 pi F into C. So if I take the LCM, so it is going to be minus, V in, if I am going to take it outside, it is going to be 1. So 1 is 1 plus J into 2 pi F into C. So this V in, if I am going to take it out, so here in this case this is plus, means this is going to be minus 2 divided by 1 plus J into 2 pi F into C. So minus 2 plus 1 is going to be minus 1. So this minus and minus, if I take it inside, it is going to be written as 1 minus, see here, 1 minus J 2 pi FRC by 1 plus J 2 pi FRC into Vn. So that is what we have got it here. Okay, so my output expression is going to be got by applying your superposition theorem there. So this, as I said earlier, you can see the response here. So here this is going to be your input signal. Your input signal is going to be like this. Your output signal is going to be phase shifted by 90 degrees. So here in this case it is going to be by 90 degrees and you are going to get the output. So in this, all the frequency components of the input signal we are going to get without any attenuation there. Here the output is going to be phase shifted by 90 degrees there. That is the difference between your all pass filters and the other filters. Here we are going to see that V0 by Vin, as I said, it is 1 minus J into 2 pi FRC by 1 plus J 2 pi FRC, where F is the frequency of the input signal there. So we can say that the amplitude of this V0 by Vin is going to be unity, means your V0 is equivalent to Vin. So when V0 is equivalent to Vin means it is going to be throughout your useful frequency range. That means the amplitude is going to be the same. That is why we see that the amplitude is going to be the same throughout the frequency range. So the phase shift between Vin and V0 is going to be a function of the input frequency F. So the phase angle we can give it as minus 2 tan inverse of 2 pi FRC by 1, B by A. B is nothing but 2 pi FRC and A is nothing but 1. So minus 2 tan inverse of 2 pi FRC by 1. Where phi is in degrees, F is in hertz, R is in ohms, C is in farads. So here the second figure B is going to show the phase shift of 90 degrees between the input Vin and V0. So we say that V0 lags Vin by 90 degrees. So suppose, for example, I am going to have the fixed values of R and C I am going to use, means the phase angle phi is going to go change from 0 to minus 180 degrees there, as the frequency is going to be varied from 0 to infinity. But if the positions of R and C are interchanged, if it is going to be interchanged, then the phase shift between the input and the output is going to be positive. That means output leads the input there. So first case output lags, second case output leads if R and C are interchanged means. So now we are going to design an all pass filter of the figure above. Find the phase angle phi if the frequency V in is 1 kHz. So phi is equal to minus 2 tan inverse of 2 pi FRC by 1. So F value it is 1 kHz given in the problem. R value we have taken the previous circuit, that is 15.9 kilo ohms. C value is 0.01 microfarad, that we take it as 10 power minus 8. So that value is going to be minus 90 degree. So we say that the output voltage V naught has the same frequency and amplitude but lags the V in by 90 degrees. This minus sign denotes it is lagging by 90 degrees. Thank you.